Hello and welcome back to our online English class. Today we are going to do lessons E and F as well as the review. So go ahead and open your student's book to page 130. Page 130. Okay, so let's look at exercise A. Okay, talk with a partner or, of course, just practice on your own, but answer the questions. Okay, number 1. Look at the pictures. Can you guess where the people are from and what holiday they are celebrating? Okay, so just take some time to look over the pictures and think about it. If you don't know, that's totally fine. And you can still practice making sentences of what's happening in the pictures or what you see in the pictures. Okay, so you might say, a man is jumping over a fire. A man is jumping over a fire. And here you can see in the second picture, there are many items on a table. Okay, there are many items on a table. And in the last picture, you can see many people are eating around a table, or many people are gathered around a table eating. And if you look, you can see that it seems the people are from the Middle East, somewhere like Iran, based on their apparel or attire, like their hijabs. So, as you know, a hijab is something that women wear to cover their heads. So, let's look at number 2. What is your favorite holiday or celebration, and why? Okay, so it might be a traditional one that you celebrate in your country, or it might be an American one. But anyway, just think about that, and then we're going to take a look at the paragraph. Okay, so actually let me try to show the pictures as we read, because it's related. So let's take a look at this together. You can follow along as I read. My favorite celebration. My favorite celebration is the Iranian New Year, Nowruz, or New Day. This holiday begins on the first day of spring and lasts 13 days. On the Wednesday before Nowruz, people build bonfires and jump over them, as you can see in this picture. Iranian people believe that if they do this, they will get rid of their illnesses and misfortunes. On Nowruz Eve, just like New Year's Eve, the family gathers around a table with 7 items that begin with the letter S in Persian: an apple, wheat pudding, dried berries, vinegar, a coin, a beautiful flower, and garlic. A bowl of goldfish. Actually, you can see that there the S is missing, but it should say goldfish. A Quran, colored eggs, and a mirror are also on the table. These items symbolize beauty, health, prosperity, and fertility. On Nowruz Day, people kiss each other and say, "I hope you will live for 100 years." We spend the next 13 days visiting each other and eating sweets. Finally, on the last day of the celebration, everyone goes to a park for a big picnic. I wish my whole family lived with me here so that we could celebrate Nowruz together. Okay, so as you can see, there are a lot of uses of hope, wish, and if clauses, like here, if they do this. So it's a good use or good practice of this unit. Now, let's take a look at the conclusion. The last sentence of a paragraph is an important part of a paragraph. One way to conclude a paragraph is to relate the topic to your personal life. As you can see, I wish my whole family lived with me here. Now, this is a personal way to conclude this passage. Now, if you remember from our last lesson, the special birthdays around the world, one of the questions asked, what would be a good concluding sentence to this article? So I mentioned that you could end it with a question like, what birthdays are meaningful in your culture? So it's a question that relates the passage to your personal life. So that's another similar way to conclude a paragraph, with a question that relates to your personal life. Okay. So now we're going to take a look at exercise C. Okay, so complete the outline of the model paragraph. So what we just read was the model paragraph, and you're going to do the outline, complete the outline. So you can see here the topic, which is my favorite celebration, Nowruz, the meaning or symbolism, when it is celebrated, and the customs, as well as the conclusion. Okay, so for an outline, you don't have to write sentences, as you know. You can just write notes. So go ahead and take time to do this. You can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so for the meaning or symbolism, you might say New Year's Day or a new day, because Nowruz means new day. Or you could write the meaning or symbolism of some of the items, or just the general hope. So you could put beauty, health, prosperity, and fertility. And then number 3, when celebrated. And you could put for 13 days beginning on the first day of spring. And then customs. So we can see that there are 5 customs. And you could say jumping over bonfires. Okay, or you could say building bonfires and jumping over them. Another custom is gathering together around a table. So gathering around a table with 7 items that begin with the letter S. And another custom is kissing each other and saying, I hope you will live for 100 years or 100 years. Okay. Letter D, another custom, is visiting each other and eating sweets. Okay, and finally, the last one is having a picnic, having a big picnic at a park. Okay, and then the conclusion, as we talked about earlier, you could say, wish my family were here to celebrate together. Okay. Now, some of your words might be a little different, and that's totally fine, but that's just the general outline. So when you write an essay or a paragraph, it's always good to have an outline beforehand to organize your writing. Okay, we are now going to look at a worksheet. Okay, so scan the article. Find words with these definitions. Okay, write the words. Now, let me zoom out. And actually, that's a little bit too small. So if you look at this article, you'll see some words that are italicized. If you remember, italicized means leaning. So those are the words, and you can quickly scan the articles to find those italicized words and put them or match them with the meanings. Okay, so you can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so number 1, pieces of a tree, and we can see that that they are branches here. And then number 2, stays together, that is sticky. Okay, sticky. And then number 3, concerts are shows. And then number 4, throw would be cast. And then number 5, given means offered. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the article and answer some questions, but let's read it first. New Year's Eve customs around the world. In many cultures, New Year's Eve is an important time to celebrate the transition from the old year to the new one. In Japan, people clean their houses and decorate them with pine and bamboo branches. They prepare many kinds of special New Year foods, such as sticky rice cakes. Businesses have end-of-year parties, bonenkai, for their employees. People write New Year cards that are delivered on January 1st. At midnight, people hear a temple bell that rings 108 times. In Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, millions of people go to the beaches to celebrate New Year's Eve. There are beach parties with fireworks at midnight. You can see live music shows, and hotels and restaurants offer special menus. In addition, Brazilians also offer gifts, flowers, perfume, or rice, to the goddess of the water. The gifts are placed into little boats, and then people cast them into the sea. People hope the goddess will give them good luck in the new year. In Scotland, people celebrate New Year's Eve with street parties and fireworks. People gather around the fire and sing a traditional song, Auld Lang Syne. After midnight, neighbors visit each other. They bring traditional gifts such as a fruitcake. The visitor is offered a small glass of whiskey. The first visitor to enter a house in the new year, the first footing, could bring luck for the new year. All right, that was also a very interesting passage. Okay, so now we are going to make questions. Okay, so let's look at number 1. What is a New Year food in Japan? Okay, sticky rice cakes. So based on these answers, we're going to make questions. Let me zoom out a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and take some time to do this. You can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at number 2. The answer is, it's an end-of-year party in Japan. So we can ask, what is a bonenkai? Okay, we use because we can see un here as singular, countable noun. And then number 3, they hear a temple bell. Okay, so we can say, what do people hear at midnight? Okay, and if you want to be a little more specific, you can say in Japan. Or you could also include at midnight on New Year's Eve. Okay, let's see. Okay, so what do people hear at midnight on New Year's Eve in Japan? I have to put a question mark. Okay, and then number 4, flowers, perfume, or rice. Okay, so we might ask, what do people in Brazil offer to the goddess of the water? Oops, let me change that. Okay, so what do people in Brazil offer to the goddess of the water? Okay, they offer flowers, perfume, or rice. Okay, and then number 5, it's the first visitor to enter a house in the new year. So we can ask, what is the first footing? What is the first footing? It's the first visitor to enter a house in the new year. Okay, and then number 6, they offer a small glass of whiskey. So we have to figure out who they is. So in this case, it says the visitor is offered. So this is the passive voice. The visitor is the one who receives the action. But then who does the action? So they offer. Who offers? We can go here and see neighbors. So we can ask, what do neighbors offer? And then you don't have to say to, but you can say offer the visitor. Okay? What do neighbors offer the visitor, or offer to the visitor? They offer a small glass of whiskey. And then finally, number 7, it's the name of a traditional song in Scotland. and that you can see here. So it's, oh, I don't know what just happened there. What is auld lang syne? And if you want, you can put not parentheses. Oops. You can put quotation marks around it because it's the name of a song. So what is auld lang syne? And even though this song is a traditional Scottish song, a lot of Americans also sing this song at the end of the year at New Year's Eve parties. So you might have heard this song in movies because, as I mentioned, it's a common thing to sing after saying Happy New Year at midnight. Okay, now we're going to look at the next worksheet, which is lesson E. Now, the one we just did was actually for lesson D, which is fine. We were still able to practice writing in the form of questions, which are always helpful. But we're going to go ahead and look at the next worksheet, lesson E. As you can see, we're going to do a matching lesson first. So label the sentences A for a topic sentence, B for meanings or symbolism, C for customs, or D for a conclusion. So for example, my favorite celebration is the 4th of July, and this is a topic sentence, so we put A. Alright, so go ahead and pause the video and do this section and continue when you're finished. Okay, so let's look at the first sentence. In the morning, we usually see a parade in the neighborhood streets. So that's B, and this is custom. Okay, and then in the next one, it is also a day when C, friends and family get together. This is also a custom. And then the next sentence. People celebrate winning independence from Great Britain. Okay, so this is the reason why we celebrate the 4th of July. So it is meanings or symbolism. Okay, and then at night there is a big fireworks show with music. Okay, and this is a custom. Okay, and we already did this one. And then the next one. I like the 4th of July because it is a summer celebration that lasts all day. Okay, and this is a conclusion. Oops. And then the next one. For lunch, we usually have a barbecue or picnic in the park. Letter A. And this is a custom. We decorate our homes with the American flag. This is also a custom. And then this holiday is also known as Independence Day. Okay, so this is meanings or symbolism. Okay, now we're going to look at exercise B, which is basically these sentences in the form of a paragraph. So these labels will help you. You can just put them in order based on what the labels are. So identify whether they are a topic sentence, meanings or symbolism, customs, or the conclusion. So as you can see, my favorite celebration is the 4th of July, and that's the topic sentence. So, of course, what would come next would be meanings or symbolism, followed by customs, and followed by conclusion. So take some time to complete this activity. You can pause the video and continue when you're finished. Okay, so I went ahead and typed out the answer so you can see and compare it with yours, but let me read it real quick. My favorite celebration. My favorite celebration is the 4th of July. This holiday is also known as Independence Day. People celebrate winning independence from Great Britain. It is also a day when friends and family get together. We decorate our homes with the American flag. In the morning, we usually see a parade in the neighborhood streets. For lunch, we usually have a barbecue or picnic in the park. At night, there is a big fireworks show with music. I like the 4th of July because it is a summer celebration that lasts all day. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead and go to our next part 2 of this lesson, part 2.